more than there. Yeah, that was a creative process of it that I enjoyed. If you don't like that kind of thing, then you have to find out what works for you, which is honestly one of the messages of the entire book. Like how you hear from God or feel close to God may be different than how I do. So, be intentional about how you personally experience those things, and then go after it.
Today we get to speak with Tyler Smith. He's a pastor, NBA sports writer, varsity basketball coach, and author of Searching for Seven. Now, he's been involved in a ministry since 2005 and also worked in the Christian music industry. He lives in Indiana with his wife Katelyn and their two beautiful daughters, Addi and Ellie. Let's take a listen to his journey and how he began and what inspired him to write the book Searching for Seven. Thank you for tuning in to Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid. We're visited by our amazing guests coming from all walks of life. We want to learn their story, their struggles, and their journey on how they got to where they are today. So stick around. Hey Tyler, thanks for coming out to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, my man. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you started, how you got started, and who you are.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different things that I get to be involved in. It all starts at home, of course. I have a wife and two daughters that are 3 and 1.
Nice.
I help with the youth group. I coach varsity girls basketball. I'm an NBA sports writer for the Indiana Pacers,
Nice.
and just released my first book in June. So quite a bit going on, but I love all of it. It's great.
Sweet, man. That's pretty cool. I have 3 kids, 2 boys and 1 daughter, 10, 5, and 2. With my, we live here in Virginia, and it's really amazing. I mean, the past few months have been crazy, but we've been staying home and safe, and been really really blessed because we have the opportunities to be able to work from home, stay safe from all the crazy that's happening out there. It's definitely insane watching the world go around, and it's just found out. I think my cousin in Pakistan told me that they know somebody who passed away from COVID, and then earlier today I was watching interview Tom Hanks being interviewed on Stephen Colbert's show, and because he was the first one who was reported to have COVID, and he's like, him and his wife had very different experiences.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's a crazy, it's a crazy disease. It's a crazy thing that we're all dealing with. So, we're definitely in God's grace as being here and, staying above ground and safe.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been fortunate to not have, really even known too many people to get the virus or obviously die from it. But I know
Yeah.
a lot of people have had to deal with it a lot worse than I have. I've tried
Yeah.
to focus on the positives that are there from everything. Maybe a chance for us to slow down a little bit and maybe take things a day at a time like we're supposed to anyway. There's some positives in there, hopefully, that people can get.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. A ton of people have gone to gardening. They're spending more time with families. I mean, that's all you can do. They're finding creative ways to, you know, use their time effectively. You can only watch so much Netflix and so much Hulu and so much TV,
Yeah.
right? So definitely a great way to slow down, even though it's, I mean, it's a crazy way. You're right. We are intent to, as human beings, we shouldn't be going so fast where you can't even see where your feet are stepping into, right? So
Yeah.
it's a great reminder worldwide that, the reason why we're put on this earth.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about your, how you came to write your book, what your book's about. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Yeah, when I first started, it was just an idea from you know probably 3 or 4 years ago. I wanted to combine my ministry teaching experience with my writing background,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just one of those things where I just felt like I need to do this, and eventually at the end of 2018, I decided to finally do it. I dedicated 2019 to writing. It's called Searching for Seven, and the basic point of it is, how do we look for God all 7 days a week, not just
Yeah.
at church, or not just when we get good news or bad news, or when we're at camp or whatever. It's just the day to day. I wanted to share a lot of stories from all the things I've been able to experience, and
Mm-hmm.
make the chapters short, to the point, but also hopefully encouraging. And yeah, that's kind of the background story of it.
Very cool. So 2018, you decided, let's make it happen. Let's do this. And you jumped in and started writing the book. What's funny is 2018 is a very special year for me too. I was like, I'm going to be turning 42. 42 is the ultimate answer from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I was like, I've been wanting to start a podcast for a very long time. And I had a podcast back in 2012 where we talked. It was me, my cousin, and my brother-in-law, and we talked about technology. We talked about a lot of different issues, worldwide issues that were, But 2012, technology was a lot crude, and we didn't have Zoom. We had different solutions, but to be able to record online a conversation with video, with it was a lot more cumbersome. So
Mm-hmm.
the time difference also. So I was like 2018. I had just finished reading Gary Vaynerchuk's book Crush It, and I was like, why didn't I read this book earlier? Because I've had it for like 5 years. Once I finished reading it, it's just a light bulb moment, right? Like, let's do it, just make it happen.
Yeah.
And so there's a ton of things that culminated me to get started. And since then, I've just had nothing but fun, nothing but excellent experience, like talking with people like yourself. You take action, you think of something, you take action, you make it happen. It's just such a positive, the positive, what's that word? Experience
Mm-hmm.
when you talk with people like that. And when you put in good stuff continually, like 7 day, how do you praise God to God 7 days a week?
Mm-hmm.
Or how do you find God? Right? That's exactly what it came out to be. Every single day, every other day, I'm talking to somebody who's bringing positive message out, who's showing that it's possible. Like the journey of our life is not it's not only about money, money, money. It's all about what can you do that will make you happy. So I'm really excited to you know hear that you taken the plunge, you wrote the book. So when is the book coming out? And when can
It
people
actually it
pre-order it?
actually released recently here, June 2nd. It came out, so um,
Nice.
it's just been kind of right in the middle of the pandemic is when it released, which in some ways it was good, to
Yeah.
be able to focus on something positive, and to promote and all that good stuff. So yeah, June 2nd.
Awesome. So June 2nd, just a couple of days before my birthday, which is really awesome. Now, the book talks about, give me the title again because I am very bad.
Searching for Seven.
Searching for Seven.
Yep.
Seven is such a powerful number, right? So Searching for Seven and coming out right in the middle of pandemic, I think a message like that, people, because if you just turn the news on, it's just all bad, man. It's just all
Yeah.
bad, and that's why John Krasinski came up with the Good News show, right? The Good News
Yeah.
Network, or SGN. Um, so a message like that, searching for seven, in the middle of COVID, I think it's a really great start for somebody to get more positive out and going from that. All right, so awesome. So tell us a little bit about you mentioned something about coaching Tell me a little bit about that. How'd you get into that?
Yeah, I've been involved in sports pretty much my whole life. Got a chance to play basketball at a Christian school in Illinois. And then as soon as that was over, I was missing the game. Already was working with students in other avenues. So I started coaching pretty much right out of college.
Okay.
Did a lot of, middle school boys basketball. And then when I lived in Florida for a little while, coached a girls high school team, moved back to Indiana in 2014, picked up coaching right away again, a lot of middle school boys again. And then this school that I had some relationships with, their girls varsity coach opened up last year. So assuming we get to play this winter, it'll be my second season with them.
Nice. Very nice. All right. I'm gonna go into some questions, just to get some more just some more conversation going. I know so what's funny is that we just met. We've had, um, we have a connection through God, I think, because you believe in God, I believe in God. Sure, we might have some disagreement about who's God, or who's the son of God, etc. That's because we come from different religions, right? But I think we have a connection point there, and there's a lot of commonalities between us human beings, right?
Mhm.
But what really motivates us to have a conversation on this podcast? I mean, podcast is hacks and hobbies, and I just love hobbies. I love life hacks. I love coming up with different solutions. So,
Mhm.
what are some of the solutions that you had to come up with when you were writing your book?
I think it's a process that you need to be patient with, which I think in nature I'm usually a pretty patient person, but
Mm-hmm.
um, even when you are excited about something and you want to get it out there, it's like, well,
Yeah.
sometimes it's going to be better off if you kind of relax and go through the process, make sure, because something like a book, when it's out there, there's no more editing or like, oh, I wish I would have
Yes.
done this. So you want to make sure you know it's polished and ready to go. You can probably say that about several different opportunities and creative endeavors that you would have
Yeah.
in life, but
Yeah.
just being able to be patient and um, be able to listen and kind of feel out uh, feedback and
Mm-hmm.
the editing process. For some people they don't like that, but for me it was fun because it was like trying to piece together certain chapter ideas or stories like might fit here more than there. um, yeah, that was a creative process of it that I enjoyed. If you don't like
Yeah.
that kind of thing, then you have to find out what works for you, which is honestly one of the messages of the entire book, like
Yeah.
how you hear from God or feel close to God may be different than how I do. So
Yeah.
be intentional about how you personally experience those things and then go after it.
Very nice. Very nice. So, did you write the book, edit the book, went through the several drafts and everything by yourself, and then, or did you have an additional team members or some people helping you figuring this stuff out? What was the process?
Basically all of the writing was me. Without, I didn't really even I feel like some things that I do, I'm like, I need to get feedback, work with a team. Other times it's
Mm-hmm.
like I feel very, very strongly about like this particular thing. So I sent it to publishers, just
Mm-hmm.
100%, my writing. And then
Yeah.
once there was a publisher that I agreed with, then we did a little bit of editing. They made a few suggestions, but it was still
Yeah.
up, if I wanted to take the suggestion or not. And so they have a team of, I think, 7 or 8 people that would, each of them would take turns messaging me and kind of work through the process of some of the more creative things, whether it's
Yeah.
the cover or the references or the look of this or that, marketing ideas.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So the only experience I have had with writing a book is I have one chapter in one book, and it's just an introduction of what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And there's a lot of things I wrote. Like when I started writing for the book, I didn't really write. I just spoke. I just talked to my phone for 2.5 hours. So basically 3 days of me just talking about my journey, my story into the microphone, recorded it, converted it into text, and it came out to be 17,000 words.
Well,
And people were like, "Why don't you just write your own book?" Like, no, 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 no. It needs to go through so many different drafts. You need to clean up all that duplication because talking is not the same as
yeah.
writing. Like, not at all. Like, I look at the transcript of our podcasts episodes, and there's so many like repetition of the same word because that's how we
Mhm.
talk. When thinking, when we're trying to think, we're trying to get those words out. You repeat the same word before you actually get to the
Yeah.
message. So it's really cool that you went through the process, and I've taken some courses on writing, and I haven't written myself, but I have had a passion for writing because I've been blogging since 2007 on different topics, technology, general ramblings and whatnot. So it's something that I'm looking to do, in the near future. I mean, I've got the content, I've got the stories of hitting 200 episodes on the podcast. That's a lot of talking. That's a lot of stories that I
Mhm.
got to hear. So it's really, I think it's a really awesome way to expand your horizon, expand your mind when you take on a task that's something that you've never done before.
Yeah.
And I think what's really cool about hobbies. So let me get into this right. What are some of the hobbies that you wish you got into?
Mm. I wish that I know a little bit of guitar, but I wish I could play it better.
Play
Um,
better, yeah.
yeah, I don't know if kind of maybe my like singing background has sometimes hurt me because I just want the finished product, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe I try to rush through it too much. So it's like I know some basic chords and can
Mm-hmm.
play like very, very amateur level, but wish
Hey,
I
it's
could
better than
be.
nothing,
Yeah,
because I because
like
I can't
I want to be Jimi Hendrix or somebody when I'm just like I'm not even like
putting the amount of
kid's
hours he
birthday
does, right?
party guitar. Yeah.
So you mentioned something about singing. Did you sing in the past?
Yeah, I was like my school. It was surprisingly a cool thing to do to be in show choir where I grew
Mm-hmm.
up.
Yeah.
So I was singing that, and then would whether it was church or concerts or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
sing there a little bit. I've
Nice.
got a music page online more for fun than anything, just to whenever I feel like singing or covering a song, or I've written a
Mm-hmm.
few of my own, but usually I have to call someone up and say, "Hey, can you play guitar for this song that I wrote?"
No, that's really cool because again, that connects your analytical mind to your creative mind, being able to create music. I think that's a really powerful, uh, a very creative outlet too. It helps your mind think in more dimensions that most people might be able to. I've never written a song, but I used to write poetry like way back in the days, maybe like 25 years ago. I was just depressed, and I was like, I'm just gonna write poetry, right? I think some of the some of the best songs are the sad songs, right?
Yeah.
Or the love songs, or not. Cool, man. That's awesome. Um, what is so? No, well, I already asked you that question. What did you want to be when you were a child?
I wanted to be an athlete, and if I couldn't do that, then I wanted to be the one broadcasting the sporting events.
Mm-hmm.
So I still, one of my jobs is in the sports industry. Well, I guess two of them, if coaching,
Yeah.
but being a sports writer for basketball, I, as I got older, I realized I like even more just the writing and reporting process than just saying, what's happening on the court or the field.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was always my big thing. I want to be the next Michael Jordan, and if not him, then I'll be the next Harry Carey in broadcast. And
Well, so the reason I asked you, that's a really cool answer, or it answered one of the questions that I had in my mind. The connection between writing a book and because you being an athlete and a coach, was like, where does writing come in from, right? Like, sure. So this makes a lot of sense. You're a sports writer, and that into that combined with your love for God and Christianity, right? So you're able to create this new content, and that's probably why one of the reasons you didn't want a lot of edits in it, because it's your word, it's your opinion, it's it's your book. It has to be 100% authentic. Tyler,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. There was a few times when they said, "Could we suggest this?" And there was a few times I said, "No, the reason I like that is because," and then they'd be like, "Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll keep it." So yeah, I don't want to,
Yeah,
never want to be like, "Oh, I can never take, criticism or
criticism.
instruction,"
Yeah,
because there's some
yeah,
places I was like, "Yeah, that," but there was a few times it's like, I feel passionate about this for a reason, so let's stick with that.
yeah. You got to be open-minded enough to be like, all right, that makes sense, but this ties into this other thing that I'm talking about, so it has to stay.
Hmm.
Sweet. All right. Do you watch movies or TV shows?
Both. Yep.
Both of them. All right. So which one would you say would be your favorite movie or TV show?
Favorite movie. I try to mention a couple just because, um, you know, again, if you know like the background, like growing up as a sports fan in Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
so the movie Hoosiers is that basketball
Okay.
movie based on
Yeah.
that small school taking down the big school. It's just like small town Indiana loving basketball kind
Mm-hmm.
of program. So definitely love that. And then like I try to mention as like a comedy, like the Happy Gilmores of the world, like the some of the funny classic Adam Sandler movies I like to watch and
Yeah.
quote throughout.
So will we find some Happy Gilmore quotes in your book?
Um, Actually, don't think so. I do. I think I mentioned a couple movies, and I made one reference to like owning a little scooter that I ride sometimes, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
if you own one, then you're able to quote Dumb and Dumber lines all day because like when they're on that little bike.
That's too funny. No, man, that's awesome. It's so Hoosiers. You're talking about, small school taking the big school. It's like the classic underdog story
Hmm.
told in one way or another. I think those are still realistic. Like everybody can relate to and be like, hey, I'm in this situation. How can I overcome? It's like that David and Goliath, right?
Yeah.
Wow, cool, man. I love it. All right, so what movie would you choose if you got to play a character in it?
Hmm. That is tough. They did say they're eventually going to make a Cubs World Series movie, but they haven't made it
Oh wow,
yet. So, but I would play in that one. I
nice.
think I would probably pick some big like coaching role movie, like maybe
Remember the
Miracle.
Titans.
Yeah, Remember the Titans is awesome. To be in that, or like the Miracle on Ice, or the
Mm-hmm.
um, trying to think. Coach Carter was awesome. I mean, just like
Coach Carter, yeah.
yeah.
Nice, man. I like it. Next one. Who is your favorite superhero or your superhero power?
I think I would like I liked Batman quite a bit, still do, but I mean just kind of the some people would argue, well, he doesn't have superpowers, so he's not this or that, but it's like the the almost like human element of him, where it's like he just maybe didn't have all these powers, but he was
Mm-hmm.
still tough, and he
Yeah.
cared about his city. I want to be somebody that cares about where I'm from and to help people. So
Nice. Nice. I love it. All right. The last question is, if you were a board game, what would it be?
um, sorry, so I'd never get in trouble at home. Not really. No. Uh, let's see. Let's see, what's one of those? Probably I'll go with like taboo, because I am good with words, and I also like to be competitive and like to do like the quick mind game type stuff.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. So tell us, where can my audience find you? If they wanted to get in touch with you, want to find your book, where can they go?
Probably the easiest place is the book's website, because it also, even if you don't want the book, there's a link to blog and social media and stuff that you can
Nice.
connect with me on there. So the book is called Searching for Seven, and the book's website is searchingfor7.com.
Nice. Searchingfor7.com. Tyler Smith, thank you so much for your time and the beautiful blue wall you've got going on, man. I really
I hear that a lot. Yeah, that is very, very blue. Yep.
Very royal blue, you know. You can't go wrong with that. I've been actually trying to paint my room to like a grayish gray, but I just got too busy with just setting it up. I was like, okay, painting is too tedious. I don't want to, move everything out, and I've got work to do. Right? So that's been fun. That's been pretty fun. So I just worked around it, and I think I did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Setting up the studio. So cool, Tyler. Where is there anything that I can do to help you promoting a book, or anything else that you're working in life? Is there anything else that I can help you do?
I think just getting the word out for if people are interested, which I think it's like the whole purpose of the book is for anyone that may be on a search for truth, that probably all different walks of life and different places in their faith journey. But I think there's stuff in there for any journey that you're currently on. And if you think there's any possibility of God existing, or maybe truth, trying to find truth, then I think it could benefit you. So really anybody that I can share that with to promote it is good. So I appreciate that.
I'll see. I know some people that I can connect you with that might love the idea of the book, or you can find it helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tyler. This was a ton of fun. Hope you had a great day.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to Hacks and Hobbies. You can find additional information on the guest today on the website hacksandhobbies.com. Please feel free to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on upcoming interviews with amazing guests.